At the end of the day, when I leave this world, I want people to say that I tried to do the right thing, that I reached out and I reached back across to where I came from. Because as my grandmother used to tell me, she said, no matter how much money you make, you're not going to take one dime away from here with you. So you may as well do as much good as you can while you're here. As a poor young black boy in a very segregated society who's not supposed to have any break, not supposed to go anywhere, not supposed to get any kind of education. In my first job, I ended up as a policeman. I was a black policeman, and a black policeman back in the 50s faced with all kinds of stuff, from your own people, from the white people, from black people, from everybody. But I saw that as a job that was a great opportunity to reach out in the community, to make people's lives better, to make them feel better about themselves and their community. And then I did enough good on that job where they recruited me to be a federal agent. That worked out. I moved to New York, and I was hugely successful there. I came home one day and I told my late wife, Sally, I said, look, I'm going into the public relations business because that's what I think I can be best at. That's where I think I can make a contribution. And then when I said we have to go back to North Carolina because that's where I want to, that's my home. And she said, well, everything is segregated back in North Carolina. What are we going to do? Where are we going to live? Where are you going to work? She said, you can't even get a client there because everything is segregated. I said, I want to go back to North Carolina, first of all, because that's home. That's where my people are. And I said, secondly, and most importantly, I want to go back to North Carolina in the South to not to be a part of the problem, but to help eliminate the problem, to bring the South into America and let us all live like Americans, like free Americans. I said, this has to stop. So I got involved with a lot of different major companies like Woolworth, A&P, and all of them became clients of mine. And then I met Martin Luther King Jr., and he became one of my closest friends. I saw what he was trying to do, and I knew he needed help. He asked for my help. And I became a member of his board of directors. I served on his executive committee. I traveled with him everywhere, raised a lot of money for him. And all of a sudden, the doors not only opened to me, I'm the person who could open doors everywhere. It's something that we have to work on all the time, and that's our relationships. You know, relationships are everything. I've been on mountaintops everywhere in the world, dealing with all kinds of people. And I continue to do that, and continue to try to make something good happen out of everything. I didn't ask to go to the White House. I didn't ask to go inside to see Nelson Mandela in his prison. He had been in prison for 23 years, and they wouldn't let nobody but his immediate family go in there, and only then for a few minutes. And they let me see him for almost 2 hours. And he told me everything it would take to make peace in South Africa. And then I used that. I put it in a memo form, and I sent it to the White House. I sent it to the Afrikaners. I sent it to the ANC, to Mrs. Mandela. I sent it to everybody. So everybody would know that Nelson Mandela wanted peace. I sent some books to Malawi, and the books were sent there. They were taken there by the UPS organization. I mean, one of their executives called me and he said, you know, I'm thinking about following those books to Malawi to see what happens there. And I said, that would be a great thing for you. That's what he did. When he came back about 4 or 5 days later, he called me from New York and he says, you know, I gotta come and see you. They came up here and revamped the warehouse. It was like a complete metamorphosis. And they said, we want to be helpful. And they said, for the next 3 years, we're going to ship X number of thousands of tons of books to all these different places that have no books that we want to work with you. And that's what they've been doing. North Carolina is the most special place in the world to me. It always has been. I travel all over the world. And people ask me, why in the world do you live in North Carolina? What in the world is down here? I say it's the place that I love.